Live from the Al Roker Television Studio, this is WTOP 10 News at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Ian Dembling.
And I'm Olivia Eugenio. Tonight's top story, Governor Andrew Cuomo makes a pit stop at SUNY Oswego on Wednesday. This will be his first visit to the Oswego County campus since becoming governor of New York State.
The event will be held at Sheldon Hall Ballroom in Sheldon Hall. By 10:45 a.m., Governor Andrew Cuomo spoke in Buffalo today about his new $101.2 billion budget. Unemployment rates drop in Syracuse metropolitan area.
And a family is still looking for answers for a man that went missing 14 years ago. We will have more on these top stories in just a minute, but first, a quick check of your weather outside with meteorologist Brian Donian. Brian, how's it looking out there?
Thanks, Ian and Olivia. Boy, was it cold today. I mean, you probably think you're watching a February newscast instead of an April newscast, but no, it really is April 2nd today. But we only got to 34 degrees. That's about what it should feel like in late February around here in central New York. Syracuse got about 5 or 6 inches of snow early this morning. And here in Oswego, we just got a trace, but we did see snow showers around through the day today. Now for tonight, we're going to see a few more snow showers around. We're not going to see much in the way of any accumulation here. Down to our south, in places like Syracuse, they might get another 3 to 5 inches overnight tonight and another inch or two tomorrow. We'll have a snow map for you coming up in the full forecast in about 10 minutes. But first, let's take a look at your radar. You can see there's some snow showers out there right now. There are some flurries out here right now. Mainly it's just windy. Now, our day planner for tomorrow is going to be a cold start. We're going to be in the low 20s to start with some squalls and flurries, mainly south of Oswego. Up to 33 by noon, so it's windy and cold. Winds are going to be gusting upwards of 40 miles per hour. And then by 5 o'clock, we'll reach our high of 36. Not much of a high for February, or for April. It's going to feel more like February if you ask me. Now I'll send it back inside to Ian and Olivia.
All right, thank you, Brian. Unemployment in New York State was at 8.8% for the month of February 2013, the State Department of Labor said on Tuesday. The unemployment rate for the entire state improved by 0.3% since January. In Syracuse, unemployment also dropped from 9.7% to 9.4%. Oswego County, however, was tied with Hamilton County as the fourth worst in the state for unemployment at 12.2%. Lewis County had the worst unemployment rate in the state with 13%, while Tompkins County was lowest with 5.8%.
A Utica man is arrested for threatening to kill his ex-girlfriend. Jesse Dennis grabbed his ex's keys at a house party and threatened to kill her. The Utica police arrested the 29-year-old for reckless endangerment on 2 accounts: criminal possession of marijuana, reckless driving, and aggravated unlicensed operation at a traffic stop when he was following his girlfriend home. The victim was also arrested for having a suspended driver's license.
A family is still looking for answers after a Syracuse man, Guy Pike, disappeared 14 years ago today. Pike left his home in Howlett Hill to visit his family in Watertown and never returned home. His granddaughter, Jennifer Woods, said, "It was hard. You always wondered if it would be that moment that you'd walk through the door." Pike was 70 years at the time of his disappearance.
A Syracuse organization will be receiving a large check thanks to Governor Cuomo's new budget. A $1 million grant will be given to the Center Stage Corporation for Economic Opportunity, an organization to support economic growth in central New York. With the grant, the group will launch a partnership with the Brookings Institute in Washington, D.C.
Now we're going to take a look at our live shot. Adam Rupsick is out with a story for us.
Yeah, he will be talking about the governor visiting tomorrow, which is actually funny because both Ian and I are from Albany, so he went to school at a local school by us, so we're kind of excited.
Very excited. Good to see him again.
All right, thanks, Adam.
We're out here on the SUNY Oswego campus, just a couple hundred feet away from the Sheldon Ballroom, where Governor Andrew Cuomo will be speaking tomorrow at about 10:45 a.m. He's scheduled. His speech was supposed to be today, Tuesday, but his committee did not confirm that he would be here, but he will be here tomorrow on Wednesday as part of his Cross New York tour, talking about the new budget passed in February. Governor Cuomo will be in Sheldon Ballroom talking about it. He's been in Buffalo. He's been in other cities in New York. Since this area, he hasn't been back in the area since early in the fall when he was at a campaign rally, for Dan Maffei, congressman of the Central New York area. So this will be his first visit back to the area since the fall. It's 10:45 in the Sheldon Ballroom. I was there looking at the setup earlier. Looks like a decent amount of chairs, about 100 chairs out there, a podium, but the Sheldon Ballroom set up sideways, not towards the main ballroom side, front and back. It's set up sideways, maybe for a low profile. We will be covering that tomorrow for WTOP. For everything else, tomorrow morning for the governor coming here. But for that's all we have for now. We'll be with it live tomorrow morning, 10:45, Sheldon Ballroom. Back to you guys. I'm Adam Rupsick.
All right, thanks, Adam. Sounds very exciting. Well, spring is here and the roads are clear, but just because winter weather is on its way out doesn't mean your automobile isn't still feeling winter effects.
Patrick Malowski explains how the winter takes a toll on your cars and trucks.
It's more the salt than anything.
When driving down Route 104, the only pieces of winter remaining are the remnants of snowbanks and the salt covering the body and underneath of your car. The salt can damage your car's paint finish, promote rust, and even affect the mechanics of your vehicle. Drew Piscuzzi and his family have been driving the Oswego streets with their 2004 Dodge Ram since they bought it brand new. Though Piscuzzi's truck is low in miles,
71,930.
the years have not been as generous on the truck's body.
The salt and the water mixture will come off the tires and it'll actually rot the bed. This is all salt. This is all road salt that's come off this tire.
Piscuzzi has also noticed the undercarriage is eroding as well.
I can see where the salt has gotten up into the muffler and rotted it right out.
Specialist at Ken's Body Shop, Tim Proud, says the salt gets in even the smallest of spaces on your car.
The salt can take its toll on like the undercoating, the wheel wells, and it gets up in little nooks and crannies where it's important to get that cleaned out.
Proud says if you have a newer vehicle, keeping it clean should usually be enough. But as for older vehicles,
If you have an older vehicle that does have stone chips that haven't been touched up, or some door dings where there's some flaked paint, it can definitely cause some havoc on them if it's not touched up where that salt's penetrating the bare metal there.
For Oswego News Now, Patrick Malowski reporting.
More Syracuse police security cameras will be making their way to neighborhoods after a long delay. This will be the second phase of camera installations in the near west side, as well as 4 additional neighborhoods. Installations began 2 years ago with 9 brand new security cameras. After months of delays, the city hopes to add up to 22 more cameras in this estimated $657,000 Common Council-approved project.
Martin J. Rothschild may expect a resolution for the case against him. Investigators searched his office in East Syracuse looking for child pornography, according to District Attorney Bill Fitzpatrick in February. A verdict may come out of the grand jury's meetings, as they wrap up this week, but the outcome has not been solidified.
The Admissions AM information program will be held on Wednesday, April 3rd from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the admissions office in Sheldon Hall. Guests are asked to arrive at least 15 minutes early to park and check in. There will be a short introductory DVD followed by a presentation from an admissions counselor, as well as a walking tour of campus from a current student. Please go to www.oswego.edu/visit to register for this event.
So this is a story I'm excited for. One of my favorite movies, The Untouchables or Les Intouchables, will be shown tomorrow in the Campus Center. The 2011 French film revolves around a disabled man who lost his wife in an accident and his trials and tribulations with his somewhat unorthodox caretaker. The film stars Francois Cluzet and Omar Sy. The film will be in the Campus Center auditorium at 7 p.m.
And coming up after the break, Syracuse Mayor Stephanie Miner was not invited to tomorrow's visit at Oswego State with Governor Cuomo.
We will be right back with your full weather report with Brian Donegan. Stay tuned.
We are the Tigers from Pet 885. And you are watching WTOP. Yeah.
The Oswego MBA program helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Story around the whole Empire State. Cold spot is Jamestown at 27, down 481 in Syracuse. It's 29 right now. So pretty much 20s and 30s across the state. Your weather headlines, we'll see some lake effect snow tonight, and we'll talk about accumulation in just a minute here. Then we'll have one more cold day tomorrow, only in the mid-30s again, similar to today. But then finally by Thursday, we'll see some milder temperatures, perhaps into the low 50s. Now, here's why it's so cold. For tomorrow, Wednesday, we're going to see this continued west-northwest wind flow off of Lake Ontario. It's bringing down the colder air from Canada. That's creating those lake effect snow showers, since the lake is relatively warm compared to the air mass flowing over it. So that'll be the story tonight and into tomorrow morning. We'll time it out for you with your Futurecast. 8 a.m., you can see there's some leftover lake effect snow showers over Syracuse. We should be okay here, maybe just a flurry or two. By noon, when you're heading out to lunch or your afternoon classes, just windy and cold here. We'll probably see some sun by then. The lake effect snow is now south and east of Syracuse. And by 5 o'clock for the afternoon ride home, or maybe you're going to dinner or getting out of class, we're pretty dry here across most of central New York. There is some leftover snow showers over the Adirondacks, but for most of us, the sun will be out, but it'll be windy and cold with temperatures only in the mid-30s. Now, here's your snowfall map for between now and we'll call it sunset tomorrow, about 7 o'clock tomorrow night. The heaviest snow is going to be south of Oswego in northern Onondaga County, northern Cayuga County, and extreme southern Oswego County. They might see upwards of 6 to 8 inches down there by sunset tomorrow. But here in Oswego, only trace to 2, probably towards the lower end of that, probably not even an inch here. But we'll call it trace to 2 just to be safe, so not too much to worry about here. So for tonight, we'll drop down to a low of 23, so bundle up out there. Lake effect snow showers south of Route 104. Those breezes continue. For Wednesday, lake effect snow does end in the morning, otherwise just windy and cold. Sun gets out in the afternoon, though, with a high of 36, but winds will be gusting upwards of 40 miles per hour, so wind chills will be in the 20s. Your 5-day forecast, look at that, 52 by Thursday, finally feeling more like April around here. We drop off a little bit by Friday with sunshine, but not too bad of a day. We're in the mid-40s. Upper 40s on Saturday with more sunshine. And then by Sunday, look at that, 55 degrees, feeling like spring there, but with a chance of a few showers. Now I'll send it back to Ian and Olivia at the desk.
All right, thanks, Brian. Turning to state news now, it was reported Tuesday that Syracuse Mayor Stephanie Miner was not invited to attend Governor Andrew Cuomo's visit Wednesday morning to SUNY Oswego. According to Cuomo spokesman Rich Azzopardi, the governor's staff did not invite any Syracuse officials. Cuomo had handpicked Minor to co-chair the state Democratic Party, and her absence is causing speculation about how Cuomo is getting along with the Syracuse mayor after her public criticism of the governor for not including more financial aid in his newest state budget.
For all you Syracuse residents, the theme of this year's State Fair was announced today. The New York State Fair officials chose Sharing the Bounty and Pride of New York, submitted by Kathy Denman. More than 500 ideas were submitted, which were narrowed down to 10. Denman, the morning traffic report anchor for numerous Syracuse radio stations, won a day at the fair with State Department of Agriculture and Markets Commissioner Daryl J. Albertine.
2 inmates escaped an East Texas jail Tuesday. Brian Allen Tucker of Sulphur Springs and John Marlon King of Cumbie slipped past a fence around a recreational yard at the Hopkins County Jail around 8 a.m. Tuesday. Officials with the Hopkins County Sheriff's Office said both Tucker and King have long records of criminal history, and Tucker was currently awaiting trial for capital murder. Sheriff Butch Adams told reporters they would do their best to recapture the runaways.
A National Rifle Association supported study suggests a school program to train and arm staff members to act as security guards. The proposal from the study is the gun group's answer to December's new school slayings in Newtown, Connecticut. Former Republican Congressman Asa Hutchinson says the presence of an armed security personnel in a school adds a layer of security and diminishes the response time that is beneficial to the overall security.
And we will be right back with Gabby Santos discussing trending apps.
But first, here's a look at your late night menu.
We are the Tigers from Pet 885. And you are watching WTOP. Yeah.
Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 News. Now, there are a lot of trending apps out there. I personally can't get enough of Temple Run 2. What about you, Olivia?
I'm personally addicted to Snapchat. Today was my first offense of actually Snapchatting in class.
Oh,
I
man.
know. So, but let's take a look at more apps with Gabby Santos. Gabby?
So today I have 2 really cool apps I want to show you. One is that'll help you around campus, help all Oswego students. Another one's just really fun for you and your friends to be entertained. So let's take a look. The Oswego app has lots of great features. You are able to check what is for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the dining hall. You can check library hours and see what books and articles are available in the library. The directory is great to search contact information for faculty, staff, departments, and students. The app also provides emergency contact numbers you can call immediately. Click on Athletics and get sports updates and dates of upcoming events and games.
I actually have a couple of really good uses for that app. One time my car died, I needed to call Universal Keys, and I had the number right on hand in the app. I used it to find out what's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner almost every day. And I have used it before to find someone's email that was in my group for a group project.
Notifier is an app to keep you and your friends entertained. Simply take a photo of your friend, select skin color out of your picture, and then color over the area you want blurred out.
Oh my gosh.
Like a really funny app.
That would have been great for April Fool's yesterday. I'm sad I didn't know about it.
Definitely,
Now about the Oswego app, we can just find that by searching on iTunes?
Yeah, definitely. You just type in like Oswego, SUNY Oswego into the App Store and it'll come right up. And it's free, so it's really cool.
Seems incredibly useful.
Thank
you so much.
No problem.
A Fort Saskatchewan man is recounting the dramatic rescue of 2 girls from the frigid North Saskatchewan River.
Adam Shaw was with his family when they suddenly heard screaming. And while his wife phoned for help, the 27-year-old raced to the youngster's aid. But Adam isn't the only hero of this story. Susan Armagon explains.
There you go.
Rocky is receiving a well-deserved reward, and so is his owner.
The significance of what you've done is not gone unnoticed.
Adam Shaw and Rocky are being noticed for taking incredible risks Sunday afternoon. The Fort Saskatchewan family was enjoying the spring weather at Rundle Park when they heard screaming from the water below. 2 young girls, 9-year-old Samara and her 10-year-old sister Crimson, were too close to the river's edge. The pair broke through the ice.
I kind of just dropped everything and I grabbed Rocky and we just ran down to try to help in some way.
Adam and Rocky fought through the deep snow on the steep riverbank.
The first little girl that had fallen in, if you follow the water's edge down to where it breaks up there, you can see my footprints leading out to it. She was hanging onto the ice there.
Adam was able to pull one girl out, but the other was quickly swept away.
The little girl, she was cruising down the river.
Kelsey called 911, wondering if her husband could manage a miracle.
She was far away from him and going fast down with the current.
So I started to run. I come back up here and started to run down the edge to where she was.
But Samara was several meters from shore. That's when the other hero in our story got involved. Rocky, an 8-year-old lab husky cross, jumped in.
I knew if she could get a hold of the leash that she would be okay, and if she could hang on. I didn't know if she could use her arms at all, right? So that's what I was worried about.
The youngster hung on while Rocky swam to safety. Rescuers arrived on scene and rushed the girls to hospital, where their mother learned just how close a call it was.
The doctor said 2 more minutes and Samara would have been gone.
Samara and her sister are home. Their mother now hopes to meet their rescuer.
I would just give him a big hug and tell him he's my angel and that I'm so thankful. And in my mind, a lot of people wouldn't have done that.
These 2 young ladies are very, very fortunate that such a family happened along that were able to intervene.
The heroes are humble. One is just happy to have a treat. The other just relieved it's a happy ending.
I just think, I did what I think anybody would do, to be honest.
Now, Olivia, going on to sports now, Kevin Ware of the Louisville Cardinals had a pretty big spill at that game against Duke.
Yep, I actually saw the picture on Twitter, which is a lot because I'm not a sports girl, but we'll take a look at sports with Dan North.
Thanks. Oswego State junior Brian Martin of the men's lacrosse team has been named the SUNYAC Men's Lacrosse Goalie of the Week for the 2nd straight week. Martin made some great saves over the weekend, which helped him receive this honor. The junior had 11 saves in the team's 10-9 win over Brockport on Saturday and was able to make a key save during the final minute of play. He also had 8 saves in the Lakers' 6-5 overtime loss in the against the 15th-ranked Ithaca Bombers. Martin and Oswego's next game will be tomorrow afternoon as the Lakers travel to Potsdam for a 4 p.m. start. The Oswego State men's baseball team has been struggling to get going here in upstate New York as they had another game postponed today. The Lakers played pretty well when they were down south, winning 7 out of 10 games, but the weather up here in Oswego isn't cooperating quite yet. The game scheduled for today was a 3 p.m. start against Cortland, which has been moved to Thursday with the same starting time. The Lakers are 9-6 overall and 2-1 in SUNYAC play. They look to improve that record moving forward on Thursday. Interesting news here in Major League Baseball today as Yankee star Robinson Cano has left agent Scott Boras to sign with Sean Carter, also known as Jay-Z. His entertainment company Rock Nation has announced that it is getting into the sports business through a partnership with CAA, also known as the Creative Artists Agency. The company has made Cano their first sports client. Cano looks to be taking on a more active role not only on the field but off of it. It's also reported that Jay-Z is looking to become a professional agent, so it will be interesting to see how Cano's agency change pans out in the future with the Bronx Bombers. The Louisville Cardinals, as well as all of college basketball and its fans, suffered a tragic moment over the weekend as sophomore guard Kevin Ware broke his leg in 2 spots during the regional final game against Duke. Ware had surgery on his leg at Methodist Hospital on Sunday evening and has taken his first step towards recovery. The sophomore was on crutches and was able to see his teammates for the first time since the tragic injury. He's expected to be out of basketball for at least a year, but is hoping that he can travel to his home in Atlanta with his team to watch the team take on Wichita State in the Final Four. And finally, the New York Rangers are in desperate need of some wins, and that's just what they got last night against the Winnipeg Jets. The team got off to a quick start, scoring just 19 seconds into the game, but later fell down 2-1. Derek Stepan brought the Rangers back, scoring 2 goals in the game, and captain Ryan Callahan, as well as leading scorer Rick Nash, were also able to contribute to the goal count, as the Rangers won with a final score of 4-2. This moved the Rangers into 8th place, which is the last playoff spot in the Eastern Conference standings. New York will take on the Pittsburgh Penguins tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. as they look to try to make a run at the 8th spot in the East. And that's it for sports. Now back over to the news desk.
All right, thank you, Dan. We will be back in just 90 seconds.
But first, take a look at your community calendar.
We are the Tigers from Pet 885. And you are watching WTOP. Yeah.
Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Back, and before we say goodnight, here's one final look at your forecast with Brian Donegan.
Thanks, Ian. Let's take a look at your class cast for Wednesday. We're going to start off around 23 when you're heading out to your 8 a.m. class, so grab that heavy jacket, maybe even some gloves. It's going to be windy. We're up to around 33 by lunchtime when we finish the day. Around 5 o'clock at 36 degrees, so a cold, windy day tomorrow, maybe some snow in the morning, mainly south of here, though.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to grab that jacket. I have an early class tomorrow. So
yeah, you're going to need that jacket.
It's going to be pretty cold. Well, that'll do it for us here. For the entire 10 News team, I'm Ian Dembling.
And I'm Olivia Eugenio. Stay tuned for morning news tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. If you're up that early, I guess. Good
Thanks
night,
for joining
Oswego.
us.